Do you feel like as you sort of hone that and you had that sort of artistic maturation and you begin to have, some of these personal experiences that you went through, did it even change you, like maybe like the content and change you as an artist? Like do you feel that you begin to speak about things maybe that you wouldn't have spoke about before some of those things went? And do you feel like that was therapeutic for you? A lot of people, for me personally, it'll be a lot of times where I'll be going through something, and as I'm writing it or expressing it creatively, I'll sort of find myself on the other end of whatever that thing is that I'm working on, feeling a little bit more comfortable with this experience, feeling a little bit more at peace with this experience. Do you feel like that was something that you went through yourself?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. My cousin, like, cause he was like my early influence, what kind of got me into it. And at one point, he told me like he didn't tell me this, but he said it indirectly. Like when we was talking, it was like, okay, he had labeled me as like a drill artist,
Okay.
and yes and no. Like I was an angry individual back then, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the emotional part of my art and my craft is I didn't know how to really, when I say intentions, I didn't know where I was going with it, but I had that emotion, that prevailing emotion over all of my emotions. I was real. So it's like, even me, when I look back in retrospect, I look at my music, I'm like, man, like I would, so I could get labeled as a drill artist. I feel like I'm just an artist. These are emotions. Anger was just that prevailing emotion, and that's what I expressed a lot. To get back though, like to get back to what we were saying, I feel yes, it does, but once again, I had to go through those experiences and everything. I'm working on an album right now. Uh, I'm calling it the 27 Club, right?
Okay.
If you know, like the Kurt Cobain story,
Yeah, like
and
people
a
dying
lot of
27. Yeah.
So 2024, yeah, in 2024, like my golden birthday. I turned 25, January 25th, 2024. My son also passed away from cancer. And like I've been vulnerable on songs before, but I feel like this one is a different type of vulnerability. And even because it's like it's stuff you say, but then it's like we could talk about the tip of the iceberg, but then it's like, okay, it's layered. We could go deeper than that.
Yeah.
But the farther you go under the water.
Right.
And I feel like with this one, I'm going under the water.
Okay.
If I could equate it to that.
Yeah. Do you feel like a lot of things I've been talking to different people about sort of like their writing process and sort of their creative process and, when they write and as opposed to if they do write and if they do write, do they write in the studio? Do they write out of the studio? What is, as you're talking about going through, going deeper, from just the tip of the iceberg, do you do that from outside the studio and you writing these things or putting these things together? Or is that something that you do when you inside the studio and you starting to go to these places?
I do a little bit of both. I'm noticing in my creative process that it's getting harder to write, and that's because like I feel like I'm so in tune with my emotion at the time. Because like when you're creating and you're creating off of that emotion. I had read some things where like I picked up some tips from other people. It's like when they write, because they get that writer block from when they'll make a song and they'll come back to it and they can't capture it again. But that's because you got to put yourself back into that mood and mind frame that you was in when making it. So what I try to do is that, but I also like I just go with the flow. Like when I hear the beat and like the subject or the way the song going, I just try to put everything into it from my own experience.
Yeah.